This is MacVoicesTV. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner, and this is MacVoicesTV at BlogWorld in Las Vegas. And on the last day of the show, as the show floor is winding down, I ran into Michael Butler, who is partaking of some of the refreshments that they're offering here as the show closes down. Michael, it's good to see you. That's a trademark sound if you're not familiar. Of course, a lot of people know you, or may not know you, but I do. The Rock and Roll Geek Show.
There you go. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you again.
Don't you want to know how I am?
I'm sorry?
Don't you want to know how I am?
Yeah, how are you?
Great, couldn't be better.
That's right.
All right, there you go.
All right, I should have fed you that earlier. Michael, the Rock and Roll Geek Show, you know, every time I see you, it gets better and better. The thing I like about... Of course I listen. What do you mean? Talk to Lita Ford, and, you know, I'm trying to... You interviewed someone, he's slipping my mind, Jim Carroll. Jim Carroll Band?
I didn't know. I did a Classic Albums Revisited tribute to the album Catholic Boy from Jim Carroll, because Jim Carroll died.
That's right. Which was one that I was not familiar with. But the other one?
That album is great. Catholic Boy, 1979.
I'd never heard it, and I was blown away at how good it was.
That album is like the New York rock and roll album of all time. Every song top to bottom on that record's great, in my opinion. I think a lot of people like it.
Well, the song... They're All Dead, or
People Who Died.
People Who Died. I've heard someone else do that, and I never know where it came from.
That was actually Jim Carroll's version you heard. It was on Basketball Diaries, and that was his hit.
Okay, that's where I heard it.
That's how people know Jim Carroll, but that record's really good. I'm boring your audience with rock talk.
No, that's what's here. That's what's here. Michael, the thing that always strikes me about your show, I never know what's coming, and that's what makes it fresh. I mean, you do the interviews, you do the reading with Butler, you do the classic albums revisited, you do all that stuff. It's always a nice mix of stuff.
Yeah, live bootleg, sneak a microphone in. You try to shake it up. I mean, try to keep it a little bit different so people don't get bored, you know.
And I would think that a lot of listeners don't appreciate how much planning has to go into that. It's not like you're one of those guys that just sits down and says, "Oh, I have to do a show on Tuesday." And
I do.
Do you really?
I say I have to do a show. I try to get a show out a week. Then I do the IndieCast and all that other stuff too, but I don't really do that much planning. If I do a track-by-track album or something, I'll try to research the album, so I throw out some facts and stuff if I can. If I'm interviewing, I try to do a lot of research on that, but it's not that much work involved. Because I pretty much know rock, I guess. So, you know.
And maybe that's where you're faking me out, because you already have so much of the knowledge. You're just leveraging it.
Yeah, I'm not an authority, but I'm talking about the stuff that I love. So.
Okay, so that's the one thing you do, and it's sort of in conjunction with your position at Mevio. What are you doing right now at Mevio?
I'm director, I guess it's quote, director of, Director of music programming, that's what it is. I handle all the music. If it's music on Mevio and the Podsafe Music Network, I'm the one behind it. I get bands on the network, I promote videos, and also we do shows like Hairbangers Ball, Top 5 Countdown, Mevio Underground, where we have artists come in and play acoustic. We just had Roger McGuinn from the Byrds just came in and performed an acoustic set. I interviewed Roger McGuinn. I was stoked on that. Geeked out with Roger McGuinn. Yeah, so if it's music on Mevio, I'm the person who's responsible for it, or to blame.
And to blame, that's good. And I get the impression that you've been trying to really expand things, doing some more regular shows, really flesh out the music presence on Mevio.
In my opinion, I think the music's the best part of Mevio. So I'm just trying to get good content on the music part. I think I'm doing okay. Tech men and women is good as well, but music is what I love. So I try to get people who are into good bands and stuff to come to Mevio and check it out. I think I'm doing okay.
I think you're doing great. Of course, I'm a little biased because you tend to focus on the music that I like too. So
there you go. Who would have thought that you are like a rock fan? There you go, Chuck Joyner. A reason to watch MacVoices, my friends.
Oh man, well now I'm not sure if we try to keep a non-explicit tag here. But the interview you did with Lita Ford and then with her husband just a couple weeks ago was rather interesting.
About their Twitter post. You ever read their Twitter?
The Twitter post?
Say it on you have a clean show, yeah. It was quite interesting what she does to her husband. It was
well,
and they were open about it. That's what was so cool about it.
very open, but it also folded into the new album Wicked Wonderland that she just released, which I had not heard or seen the lyrics up to the interview, and it's like, oh, so that's what it's about.
Yeah, I think it's more of a Jim Gillette, which is her husband is named Jim Gillette. I think it's more of his project, and he's just using her to, she's the name recognition. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm a huge Lita fan because of Runaways, and she's an icon. It was nice to have her on. She's doing the podcast realm. She's been on a lot of podcasts, and she's embracing the new media thing and all that. So, and I think it's helped because her record was #1 on Amazon. I heard that week.
I hadn't heard that.
I'm going to take credit for it. What do you think of that?
I'll go with it. Your interview style is always interesting because you tell the audience what you're supposed to ask or what you're not supposed to ask, according to the press people, and then you just go ahead and sort of work it into the conversation, and the artists never seem to mind.
I feel like if I don't ask those questions, people who are friends of my show or on the forums or whatever on rockandrollgeek.com are going to call me out and, say, hey, man, you're a phony. Why didn't you ask her this? Why didn't you ask her that? So I'm trying to ask things that people want to know. I try to ask things I want to know.
And that's always what makes a good interview. Instead of trying to play the corporate game, you're a fan and you talk to them that way.
And especially when you're part of a cattle call interview, you only have 15 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever, and you got to get all the questions in, and you feel like a kind of a douchebag press guy, And you kind of want to come across as a guy who knows what he's talking about.
And if you do it the other way, you're going to ask the same 10 questions that everybody else asks.
Sometimes I'll research people I'm interviewing. I'll look at some old interviews, and they all ask the friggin' same questions. And then you hear the people, I had to throw in also, I like the new album, blah, blah, and then she goes right into the spiel that they give it every other interview. So I try to move the conversation somewhere else. Because what's the point in listening to the same interview over and over again for all the same shows,
And that's where, if you're a rock fan, you got to listen to Michael's show because he doesn't ask the same questions. He asks the questions you'd like to hear. Okay, now on the live stuff, you're still playing with Jet Boy?
We're playing with Alice Cooper this week.
Ooh, I'm jealous.
By the time this airs, it will have been last week or 2 weeks ago. But we're playing with Alice Cooper in San Francisco, and I'm stoked about that because I wanted to go see Alice Cooper for free, trying to figure out how I was going to go. Now I'm on the bill, man.
That's an extreme way to do it, but it works.
Exactly. Power of positive thinking. It just happens, man.
So that's Jet Boy. You've got your own band, 70s cover band, the Butlers.
With some guys in Jet Boy, we just play 70s rock covers. Sometimes I got lucky enough to play with Ginger from the Wild Hearts in L.A., do some shows and record with him and the great Mike Klink. Yeah.
Are those the only...
I asked Lita Ford if I could play bass for her, too.
Yeah, that was very subtle. And as I recall, you asked Jim Gillette, too.
Yeah, I figured I'd get it in there twice.
Well, somebody will remember. Now,
you never know, man. A year from now, they might need a bass player. Come on, the guy in Trickster's playing for him. Better than that guy. Crying out loud.
You hate to pick on anybody's work, but yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one.
I don't know Trickster's music, but I know I got to be at least as good of a bass player as Trickster. I don't know if he might be a good bass player, but I don't know the guy. Got to at least try to get my name in there. You never know; they might need a bass player.
Are you participating in any other bands?
Just those three for now. Three's kind of too much to handle right now. Anyway.
Is the Ginger thing is semi-permanent, or is that just sort of a one-off?
I wish it was permanent. Who knows? It was a 2-off or a 3. It was a 1-off, then a 2-off, then a 3-off, and then we recorded. And now maybe it'll happen longer. I don't know. I think Ginger was pretty happy with it. If you don't know who Ginger from the Wild Hearts is, look up the Wild Hearts on Google because that guy is a major talent, my friends.
This is where about half the audience is going to say, what are they talking about? Well, just go look it up. Michael's right.
Just Google Ginger Wild Hearts. You'll be, if you're a fan of good music, you will not be sorry you did.
And unfortunately, I'm going to get emails about people who will debate what you and I think of as good music, but the heck with them.
If you like good music, you'll like Ginger. There's one of the greatest songwriters of the last 30 years, Paul Westerberg, that is, Replacements. I consider Ginger up there with him, and I think Paul Westerberg is a freaking genius, man. So.
Now, the one other thing to close with that I know we're both looking forward to is Joe Perry's new album.
Yeah, I saw Joe Perry at the Viper Room a couple of weeks ago. And I went to the Oracle party that he played the day before I came here. I managed to scam tickets to the Oracle party, and Aerosmith played. It was the first show they did with Steven Tyler back. It was kind of a secret thing. Oh, man, it was great.
Stephen looks good and everything works?
Fantastic. He didn't look bad at all. You know, I saw that picture online of Steven Tyler. He was great, man.
I saw him actually in Vegas in July, and at MGM.
Okay, yeah.
With ZZ Top, and you know.
Oh, yeah, I heard that tour was great until they canceled it.
Yeah, I mean, God, you look at these guys and you think, okay, they've been at it for a while, and they just look good, they sound good, they're so polished and sharp. It's
not even to mention ZZ Top, how great those guys are.
ZZ Top is just one of those bands. They're just cool.
Easy.
They were cool when they were in their 20s. They're going to be cool in their 80s if they're still playing.
Exactly.
Michael, it's good to see you as always. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't run into each other at Macworld.
We will. Two geeks run into each other, all the geek events. All right, Chuck.
Good to see you. I'm Chuck Joyner. Check out MacVoicesTV. He's Michael Butler. Check out rockandrollgeek.com. Until the next time, thanks for listening.
MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.